James, look, you don't understand what it's like from my perspective.
I wouldn't know. How could I?
No, you would. Yeah, and I'm trying to tell you.
You're an elite sportsman, aren't you? With all the what the nerf are you on about?
James, I'm trying to explain something that you don't understand. In that you don't get any credit just for winning a trophy. It's
but
how
you know what?
This
attitude is why a Super League is coming. This attitude. Should we start with it? Right. Should we get into it? I'm going to start with this image, actually. Do you know what's mad about this image? So this is an image from Mackwell Video. That's Mackwell, Maqwell. Welcome back to James Flav for now. This is obviously an exaggerated picture, but the bulk of the scratches are real.
Yeah, that's distressing, and also it's really uncomfortable to look at,
isn't it?
But it does kind of sum up everything in a way.
Do you think it's his assistant managers and that just come up to him and go, I think you're taking it a bit too seriously. It's just a game, Pep.
Pep, you need to get a life, mate, because this is pathetic.
Yeah.
It is. It's getting to a point where it is pathetic.
It's mad, isn't it? It is mad.
It ain't that deep. It's not that deep. And then people go, no, he's passionate. He loves the game. No one should love it that much.
Yeah.
No one. If he put just a smidgen of passion towards something that actually means something, i.e., another football club that isn't Manchester City, or some sort of world issue that needs fixing, maybe we'd all be in a better place.
Yeah. Do you know what I love as well with this thumbnail? And actually, you see this, and I've done it myself several times, is the cracked logo. A great symbolism for a club on its knees. And when I say on its knees, I mean the reigning champions of the country. But there's nothing better than a cracked logo to let people know things aren't right.
We've all done it, Jim. It's not like we haven't all done it several times. You've done it on this channel?
Yeah, I'm sure I could find one.
I'm sure I could. There's nothing to show. There's no greater image to show a club in crisis than a cracked club crest.
Do you know what's incredible, right, about Man City? Is the fact that even Man City can go on a run like this. 1, 2. When you aren't winning games, the mire that it puts you in, and the difficulty to see the way out. And this is speaking from experience. A couple of weeks ago, Rangers were struggling. Sure, I didn't see a way out, right? But what did I do? I trusted Marty, and now we're gently gliding towards the playoffs.
Ours are going up. Ours are going up. La. Kids it. But sorry, QPR don't lose, as I understand it.
Yeah, if you just had a short-term memory, and not that mid-term memory, you could happily say, Rangers never lose.
They just don't lose.
But the point I was going to make was, I think everyone's struggling. That image is powerful. I'm struggling with finding the answers to how they get out of this malaise. Like, when will they? A bit like West Ham kind of had that similar problem, but they're sort of, if you get a couple of results, it just sort of calms it down for a second. But if West Ham, I don't know if West Ham are in our Super 6 this week.
West Ham are not in our. Yes, they are. They're Brighton. They are in our Super 6.
So yeah, West Ham get pumped this week against Brighton. Then the malaise, they're back into the malaise. Final question for you, crucial question, the only question, a question that's been stolen by many.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen this.
Everywhere. I've seen it everywhere.
Yeah.
We come up with an idea and these vultures, parasites, just take it from us, don't they? I saw it on the club.
Yeah, saw it on the club. Seen it absolutely everywhere. Talk Sport.
I'll tell you what, Jack Brain, who runs that, Jack Brain, you know you are. You know, James knows you are. Yeah? I know you're watching this, right? And I know you're fucking nicking our ideas. All right, Jack? You've known that for ages before. The club's bigger than that, so we can do what we want. Well, you fucking can't, mate.
Good.
And that's why I'm not coming on Sunday.
And that's it. That's the only reason why he's not coming on Sunday.
It's so close to Christmas.
It's so close. How many? So the question is, how many games? Is there any way he gets sacked this season? Like we're on. This is a mad little run he's on now.
It's great, isn't it? My position. I have thought about this a lot because obviously we've asked each other this question about 50 times in the past couple of years. But I, under no circumstances, sack Pep Guardiola.
Under no circumstances.
It's border like apart from like a relegation. Obviously, in a relegation, if they somehow get caught up in a relegation dogfight, Jim, then in that instance, I might consider his position.
Sure.
But you just wait. They've got so much money to spend in terms of the PSR.
Yeah, apparently they're going to go big, aren't they? I've heard that.
But they're one of the few teams that genuinely can. And you know the narrative. Let me just nip this in the bud for you, Jim, just before
tell me how
it
this
all
plays
comes out.
Go on.
Let me just nip this in the bud. What happens is Man City spend a lot of money in January and the summer next year. And everyone going, wow, are they doing it? Why are they doing this? It's not they're cheating. The charge. What about all the charges? They, in terms of the last 5 years, are one of the most frugally run football clubs in the Premier League. They don't spend more than they bring in. That's Manchester City in the last 5 years. In the summer, they sold Alvarez for close to 80 million euros or pounds, and they brought in Savinho for 20. That's £60 million profit on top of they've just posted revenues of 750 million record revenues. All this adds up to a fair ability to spend significantly. It's nothing to do with what's happened previously other than the fact that they haven't spent in the last 5 years. So when they go in and just smash the transfer market to pieces in the January and the summer, it's because they're doing it within the rules. Just letting you know, just nipping that in the bud. Good. And so what manager would you want to spend all that money and make most of it?
Just in terms of the nipping in the bud, I fear that in a month's time you will be going on a similar rant the other way.
Saying what?
Don't know. Just going. I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, no, I won't. No, I won't.
All right.
No,
nipping in your own bud.
No, I'm looking at what they're doing, and I understand that. Look, you could argue about the legitimacy of the revenue totals that they've come up with. They may be right, but I don't know. And their track record, if you believe that they are guilty of the charges.
Have you hotboxed your office, or is there just sunlight coming in?
Is it hazy?
Yeah, it looks really hazy. You're hotboxing in there, are you?
It's sunlight.
It's sunlight. It's okay. It's fine as long as we know. That's all. Oh no, it's calming down now. It's calming down now. That's it. Breathe it in. Breathe it in.
I can pull this down.
Yeah, it's miles better. Yeah. Yeah, just open the window. Let all the smoke out. Good lad. There you go. No,
mate, no, they're going to do it, and the people are going to be angry, and they'll come back. And what better manager? Pep Guardiola is the guy, right?
So what's the truth then? Is he as good as we were saying? Right. Okay. So obviously they're not going to lose because Thomas Tuchel, thank God for our beloved patrons, and you've got a big part to play in today's podcast because we've got a new bit that we're going to need your quick wit. Okay, so get ready. But Tom Tuchel, he said 15 more losses in a row and he's gone. I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
You're in relegate. You're. How many points they got?
So they're on 27. Not safe yet. They're not safe yet.
15 on the bounce. That is crisis, man. That
would be. Do you know what though? If I said to a Man City fan, right, you're going to win the next 4 titles back to back, but in the 5th season, you're going to have this bizarre fall off, and you're going to get relegated. Shake my hand. Take that. Like, obviously, you take that, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
yeah,
without question.
So, if I'm a Man City fan, don't worry about it. Enjoy it. Enjoy a bit of variance, I would say. But yeah, imagine if they went down. 12. Thing is, it's going to be so low, the points this year, I think. I think you could stay up with 32, you'll stay up. What was it last year? It was low.
Yeah, you need like we've talked about this before. You need the thick and the thin, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. It's a good point. 27 points you would have stayed up last year. A damning indictment. And people thought Luton did all right. They didn't. Sorry, Luton fans. Sorry to say that.
Now look at them. Has he gone yet?
Let's I don't think he's gone yet. No, he's hanging in there. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Man City. I think if they. So here's my take on the Man City thing, right? Say he has this horrible season, right? He wouldn't get the sack, but it would put huge pressure on the next season. This is what I'm going to be intrigued by. Is this season he is unsackable. This season he is unsackable because you've got the Rodri excuse. And it's a valid one too. But if, for whatever reason, you are doing Chelsea last year form in terms of results, next season, that's when there's a new discussion. Or I guess the easy moral high ground would be he signed that 1 year deal, so just let him see that out, and then that'll be that. But he could get sort of Wenger outed a little bit. And actually, do you know, a long time ago, after a couple of defeats, do you remember we had a massive go at this guy who put a super chat in and said he's got to go. I've had enough. Maybe we were wrong. I don't know.
No, we weren't. We weren't wrong. Oh. We were correct. It's ridiculous.
I want to talk about Rashford as well. Should we do? Do you want to do Super Six?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is huge. By the way, Daniel White with the comment of the week last week. God, this is the perfect podcast. I can't get over how much this is exactly what I want to listen to. Thank you, Daniel.
Daniel. Thank you so much.
I think when he finished that comment, put enter, and he went, "Yeah, his ego. That'll feed his ego enough. That'll get him read out."
Yeah, he'll read that one out.
That would be a good thing, actually. Can you put in a comment that's so glowing, it almost feels like a dig? Yes. God, this is the perfect podcast. I can't get over how much this is exactly what I want to listen to. Daniel White. Thank you, Daniel. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. And Flav, can I just say... Nearly there now. And with the falling of the days, it could be one where we don't do a podcast between now and maybe next year, because it's important to have a break. So Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope everyone's had a great year. And what better way to finish off the year than by winning yourselves
£1 million.
Money. Everyone loves money. Everyone loves money. You can play for free. Everyone loves money. You can play for free.
And it's fun.
It's
fun to play.
Yeah.
Play Super 6. It's fun to play. I play it every week, James.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking. I'm shit at it. I tell you what, I'm shit at it.
I'm okay at it.
Mate, what's the highest points you've had on it? 7.
Last week I did all right. Yes,
I got 8.
I got 7 last week. I think the week before when I forgot to put it in, I would have done better. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm on the road to something. I'll be honest. Strategy-wise, I don't really know what to do in terms of do you go sort of rogue with the results because every week there are rogue results, or do you just go with what you think? Because what you expect never happens. That's the Premier League, Flav. That's the Premier League.
Mate, I just found out I beat Jamie Redknapp. That effectively know more about football than he does.
I beat Carragher. I think you would have beaten Carragher as well then. So congratulations.
Oh, not Jamie Redknapp, Jamie Carragher. I don't know. That's terrible.
So the Jaffin League has 1,833. It would be great to get to 2,000.
Yeah,
last little push. Support the pod. And last round, it was Sam Edwards.
Sam Edwards
with a victory. Congratulations to Sam. 14 points. Let's see what he did. Actually, he's joined with Ethan Edwards. Hang on a minute.
What's going on in the Edwards household?
Yeah. Are you related? What's going on there?
Are they twins?
Hang on. Have they picked the same ones? Yeah. He might have doubled up there. Right. Let's just see if you can remember that. So that he got a couple of. Look, he got 2 correct scores. 2-2 there.
What do we do? Why did
Ethan Edwards? Ethan Edwards went. No, Ethan Edwards are different, I think. Yeah, look. Are you related? If you're not, are you related? Do you know what I mean?
Are you related?
Like, what a Christmas story this could be. What a miracle. I've been looking for my twin brother who I was separated by at birth, and I never was able to find him. But they both love Jaffin, and this has brought them back together. Imagine if that's a story.
But what if that would be fantastic for Christmas. Moreover, I think what's interesting to discuss is that they're probably twins, and they've just talked about it quite a lot, and they've gone for the same answers. And my question to both of them is, why don't you get your own fucking answers?
Yeah.
Choose your own predictions. Stop
they did.
talking to each other and get out of your stupid little twin echo chamber, right, and get your own opinions.
Yeah. Sam's top spot here. So Sam gets the £100 from Classic Football Shirts. But
why is Sam top? Because
I think
nearest minute, wasn't it? First
probably might be that one. I'm not totally sure. But Sam's won. So £100 in Classic Football Shirts vouchers to you. We're having the winner of each round, which we've been, as you guys know, we've been doing throughout December. And deep down, let's be honest, we've been hoping for this moment, which is to win quite possibly 1 million big ones. This is the time now. I didn't want 750k if I'm honest. I wanted 1 mil. And can I just say, Flav, roll up. This weekend Super 6 jackpot has been rolled over to a whopping £1 million. Yeah, that's right. Here's your line. Say your line.
£1 million.
It's the last Christmas rollover round, so this is your chance to win big. I mean, it was big before, but it's really big now.
Yeah.
Enter for free, predict the 6 correct scores of the Premier League games, and it could be you who walks away with all the cash. And you won't even have to walk away, I imagine. It'll be digitally transferred to you. You can also compete against us in the official Jeffin League. And yeah, like we said, if you win this final round, you get yourself 100 quid's worth of Classic Football Shirts vouchers. So thank you to them as well. T's and C's apply. Make sure you're over 18. Let's bloody play.
I can never quite understand whether do we want them to win or not want them to win.
Now we really want someone in our league to win. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Before I was like, well, let's get to the million because it's a bit more interesting if no one's won it. But now's the time. Right, I'm going to sort of feel it out and go quick fire. Brentford at home, but Forest are good generally. I'm going to go for a 2-2.
No,
yeah.
I'm going for. I'm sick to death to my back teeth for Nottingham Forest. I can't. I've just had enough of them, and I'm now going to turn on Dan Burn. He won't score another goal this season.
Dan Burn.
What's wrong with me? This is the third podcast I've done today. Okay.
Chris Wood. That's mad.
Chris Wood and Dan Burn. I mean, I guess what I would
look
say
the same
is
to you today. Large men.
Both massive, aren't they?
Yeah, they are big boys.
Chris Wood won't score another goal again. Brentford amazing at home, 2-1 Brentford.
2-1. Okay, West Ham Brighton. Oh, I've been going for Brighton, but they've been letting me down recently. Something is awry, but West Ham, I'm just not sure about them. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Brighton win.
I'm in love with Belabor. That's all I want to say.
You're a Belabor, are you?
I have said 1-1.
Okay. Yeah, 1-1's a good shout. I might copy you. I'm going 1-1. Ipswich Newcastle. Chris Wood up against Ipswich there. He'll be playing. Very up and down Newcastle, and that's going to continue with a 2-0 victory for Ipswich. And Newcastle fans will be going, "What's it up, buddy? When the game they're supposed to beat Ipswich,
man." Yep. And so I've also said 2-1 to the Tractor Boys.
Have you? Interesting. Yeah. Look, only we're in the 5% that believe Ipswich can do it this week.
Yeah, but I mean, we voted for Brexit, okay? Trump's got back in. Yeah?
Plymouth. I mean, we got the Plymouth.
Who's that? Yeah. Who's that?
Peter Beardsley.
All right.
Can't talk about him anymore. Palace, Arsenal.
What do you think he's up to?
Now,
what is Peter? Let us know in the comments. Right now, what is Peter Beardsley doing right now? In the comments.
My head went to this. He's just looking in a mirror, going, because he always had like a little perfect fringe, didn't he?
Think of the Plymouth.
It's all about the Plymouth. Crystal Palace, Arsenal, back-to-back games against those two. Always makes me sort of shiver a bit. You know, when you got to play him in the league and then play him in the cup 2 days later, it just doesn't feel right. Arsenal got the victory there. Will they get the victory once more? I'm going to say 1-1.
I went 2-0 Arsenal because I want to win this week.
Something's not right, Arsenal.
Can you put your finger on it, Jim? That's what we want to know. Maybe there's a video. There's a what's wrong at Arsenal title. Thumbnail. Arteta looking confused. Yellow block. Arrow pointing at.
Interesting. Okay.
Marino.
Oh, what a mix? Yeah, different kind of thumbnail style. Nice. And then last two. Let's see what's popular down here. So we've got the big game: Spurs, Liverpool, Fulham, Southampton. 92% saying Fulham. Understandably so. No manager in the dugout for Southampton. So guaranteed victory, surely.
Little pop quiz, who is the Southampton interim manager?
Oh, I don't know. Don't even know. Do you know?
I have no, well, as if I would know that.
Dan Burn?
Burn.
Bernie's in there.
Who is it?
Give it Lallana. Give it Lallana to the end of the season. Just see what he can do. I think he's going to be a really good manager, Lallana.
Well, I saw him walking. He was walking towards the touchline at the before the game last night. He just looked lost. It's just like, what am I doing here? He's
really?
Yeah, a great honour to manage Southampton. You're not managing him, right?
Russ Martin, you mean, yeah.
Is it? No. I'm talking about the interim manager.
Oh, for that
I'm
man.
just looking at. His name is, let me tell you, Simon Rusk. Come on. Simon Rusk. Football manager, Simon Rusk. Interim manager of Southampton. And he's walking down the thing and he's smiling. It's one of them proper, one of them smiles.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, you're lost, mate.
Yeah,
You're lost. Right? It's not an honour to manage Southampton. It's not an honour to manage a team at Anfield. No, it is an honour for some people. You're just doing them a favour. I'll do it. You sure, Simon Rusk? Yeah. Give it to me.
Lovely job, caretaker manager, isn't it? Lovely job. No pressure, really. If you don't win, you kind of go, well, I'm an assistant manager. I don't really know what I'm doing here anyway.
What do you want from me?
What do you want from me? I'm not a manager, am I? I don't want the job. I don't want the job.
Listen to me. They're not listening to me. What do you want?
Yeah. That's it. Or if you do start to get some results, you can just sort of flirt a bit and go, well, hey, listen. I just want to do my best for the club whilst I'm here, and whatever happens.
I'm just here game by game.
Yeah.
Are you going to put your hat? Are you going to put your
careful
your name in the hat?
Petrified. 2 years of Samson's hat in the ring. I think it was.
Did I put my hat in a ring? What was I supposed to say?
Hat in the ring.
Is it hat in the ring?
Yeah.
Hat in the ring. Name in a hat as well. Does that work? Name in the hat.
Name. I mean, in the FA Cup, Joe, if you get through, your name is in the hat, isn't it? If you get a draw. So I'll give it to you.
Hat in the ring. Are you gonna put a hat in the ring? Well, look. Just taking it game by game.
I'm just as long as I'm at the club, I'm just gonna do my best for the club, game by game.
Yeah, this is a magnificent football club. Just honoured to be a part of
it. So I'm gonna go Fulham 2-0, and then Spurs Liverpool. Now you're getting away with it today again with the Thursday game as Spurs take on Man United today. For anyone watching this, obviously after the fact, happy with the result?
Yeah, absolutely ecstatic result. 4-0 Tottenham. We 12 men, I think 12 players we had available for selection. A bench full of babies, literal babies that have been taken from a nursery and just plonked on that bench. That's what it is.
So I'm hoping they'll stay up. Ooh.
Yeah. Whoa.
Just
support their neck. Support their neck.
Support their neck. And get them to warm up. He's coming on.
Spurs were against Southampton in that second half. First time in the history of the Premier League. 4 teenagers playing for Tottenham Hotspur. That's how fucked we are, James. And that's fine.
5-0 win. You're not that FUCK'd.
Well, it's amazing how...
Why did I do that?
It's amazing, James, amazing what a manager Postecoglou can do with such limited tools. And can I just take a moment to question the editorial decision made by The Athletic in that, what did they call it? I'm paraphrasing here, but they called Liverpool systematic, deliberate and effective, no matter how weak the team. We had a team full of babies and we beat Southampton 5-0. You beat Southampton 2-1.
Last minute, wasn't it?
Where's our accolade?
Do you think that there is a...
Oh, sorry, that's the narrative. Yeah,
you're fun. You're fun. At best, you're fun.
Yeah, at least you're having fun.
At best, you're
Tell you
fun.
what,
At your worst, you're
James, I'll
naive.
tell you fucking what, James.
Yeah.
If we somehow get this right one day, you will all never hear the fucking end of it.
Yeah. Oh, that would be amazing. Do you think you'll beat Liverpool?
No.
Nah, probably not.
Probably. Maybe.
Too
Who
close,
knows?
too
Who
close
knows?
to
Mate, who
back to
cares?
back.
I've got 3-1 Spurs. But James, who cares? It's just we're having fun. So
What's more important to you, the Carabao Cup or the league? Finish 8th, but win a trophy.
the Carabao Cup, because it would mean that we would have beaten. If it was Carabao Cup and in the team was like Birmingham, someone like that, and somehow made it to the semi-final, and then you played Hull City in the final, then I'd say league.
Really?
But,
what? So you've got to win, right? So, fuck you, fucking arsehole. So what? You can't. So oh my god, I'm blown away. So it's not. You have. This is. You are the problem with football. You're the problem with football. That you can't. You're not.
James,
I don't want the trophy unless I beat a greedy six club. Fuck off,
James. I've had a long week, right? I don't need that. What you've just done. That was a lot. Okay?
That's just shocking, though. That was your answer. Like, just take the trophy. Stop.
No.
Just stop. Just shut everyone up and take the trophy.
It has to be the trophy in the right way, and the right way would be beating Arsenal to it at this stage. That would mean something.
So with the big guns left in the Carabao Cup, this is a great tournament now, right?
No one would give us any credit for beating Birmingham and Hull to lift that trophy. No one. But if you beat Arsenal, they wouldn't. If you beat Manchester United, Arsenal, and then Newcastle in the final, or is it Liverpool? Yeah, Liverpool.
What if you beat Man United? Now, obviously, this is going out afterwards. But say you've beaten Man United,
yes,
and then you beat Arsenal, and then you beat Swansea in the final. I'm saying Swansea
all day.
Right? Does that count? Does that count?
It counts only because we've beaten Arsenal. The Swansea is almost redundant. The fact that we're playing Swansea in the final. James, look, you don't understand what it's like from my perspective.
I wouldn't know. How could I?
No, you would. Yeah, and I'm trying to tell you.
You're an elite sportsman, aren't you? With all the what the nerf are you on about?
James, I'm trying to explain something that you don't understand. In that you don't get any credit just for winning a trophy. It's
but
how
you know what?
Win
this attitude is why a Super League is coming. This attitude.
James, also, while we're at it, if we're going for each other, can you stop calling QPR the Rangers? Because every time I do it, I think about the actual Rangers, and that's really confusing for me. So can you just say QPR, please, in future?
You've that's popped into your head halfway through the week, and you've been trying to remember it all week, so you can drop it now. There's no way you've just thought that.
No, I thought about it earlier in the show when you said Rangers, and I was.
They are the Rangers. They are the Rangers.
Who was there first?
I don't get it. Who's there now?
No, James, you can't just claim a nickname. It's whoever claimed it first is the true Rangers. So when was QPR formed?
Are you 13?
When was QPR formed?
What's going on there?
1882.
I can't get past the. Tottenham of every club. You got another podcast with poor Dan, who just wants one trophy in his lifetime. You don't. I want the trophy would be nice, but only in certain circumstances where I can tweet something and go It's not true achievement.
Beating Swansea in the final is not.
Get out of your own way.
Beating Swansea in the final is not an achievement, is it? You're not winning. You're beating a team you should be beating that no one will respect you for.
This pick and choose nonsense.
James, we're not going to win it. Why are you even asking?
But that's what I have to think about. Us. What are we doing? What are all of us doing? No one's winning anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all just Palace and Ipswich fans, and we're QPR fans. We're not Tottenham fans. We're not winning anything.
James.
And then when I offer you a victory, you go, well, it depends on who we... Get your head out your arse.
James, listen to me.
Can I just submit my predictions on the Fantastic Super 6, which you can all get involved in? I'd really appreciate it if you did. Could be good if we get to 2,000 and you could win yourself £1 million. I just don't want to forget to do that. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah. Jim, no one wins trophies in this country anyway, right? The FA Cup and League Cups are shared between 5 different teams in the last 20 years.
And do you know what? We're at a point where the top teams are the only teams that win the trophies, and they don't count them as trophies. You're not counting them as trophies anymore.
I'm not. You're asking me whether I care a league or if I beat Hull and Swansea on the way to a League Cup. It doesn't mean anything, Jim.
To who?
To us, because our position is not necessarily, even the League Cup don't mean it. Not everyone's going to go. What will happen if Tottenham win a League Cup, James? People going, it's Tin Pot. Doesn't count. That's what will happen.
But then every time you have an argument, you don't win trophies. Go, what do you mean? We won a trophy. We've won a trophy. It's a trophy.
It's not. It's not big enough, is it? We want a better trophy than that. I want a better trophy than that. I'll take the Europa League. James, James, this will make you feel better. I'll take the Europa League.
Yeah, is that big enough?
Yeah.
But what if you don't beat anyone? What if you have a really nice route to the final and you beat, I don't know, someone from a smaller country?
Well, it is quite a weak season, actually.
Yeah, it's probably why you're favourite.
Most people don't really know that. So you hear Lazio and you think big, but actually Lazio are the best team in it so far. Mate, this is I'm explaining to you how people feel. I can't help it.
I'm not saying how.
You
need to feel different, and you need to change your perspective on this. Because why are you bothering if it's not about winning, regardless of who you're playing?
I'm saying the optics of winning the trophy against two like Birmingham City mean it is different than if we beat Manchester United and Arsenal on the way to winning it.
You just use the word you hate there as well.
Optics.
Yeah. So, do you know who's got it right?
Me.
Arteta. Mikel Arteta. He was asked. He said, "You've only won the FA Cup." He went, "No, won the Community Shield twice as well."
He was joking though, right? Because there was a lot of commotion. But I watched that clip and it just seemed like he was joking. He doesn't actually count the Community Shield, does he?
I don't know. I heard it on TalkSport.
Would you?
A little bite there, and it felt like. I mean, it's a touch of a bite, isn't it? But it's also a rude question. Like he's taken the team very far.
No, with that amount of investment, you should be winning stuff. He can't. He's got to go if he doesn't.
But yeah, but so winning stuff. It's a Carabao Cup's not enough.
No, of course not.
Right.
No.
Okay. So we're playing all these games, and there's only which trophies matter then? Which trophies are actually of use?
The League Cup matters this season because of who's in the semi-final and final.
You're all in the competition at the start.
Yeah, but if Birmingham get through to the semi-final, then we've got a problem about the trophy, haven't we?
We've got a problem about the trophy. 43.
James, I can't look. You accept me for who I am. That's what you have to do as my friend.
It's just not. Luke, I think Luke needs to speak. Luke wants to speak. He's rattled.
It's just that
everyone's in the tournament. Everyone's in the tournament.
Birmingham are not anymore. That's the point.
They're not in the tournament.
No, they've been knocked out. So therefore, there's more value in the tournament now. Because Arsenal, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, and Newcastle are teams you need to beat in order for it to mean something.
Right. Okay. So what about the league title, right? So you win the league title, but you lose to Arsenal at home and away, Man United at home and away, the greedy six home and away. Does that not count then?
What if Arsenal do the double over Spurs and we win the league?
You lose all those games, but somehow you still win the league. Does it not count?
Take some of the shine off it, yeah.
Does it?
Some of the shine.
Your head's got. My head's gone. Right. Who needs a trophy more? Last question on trophies. Thank God. Who needs a trophy more? Arteta, Ange, or Eddie Howe?
Eddie Howe's fine, isn't it? Because it's like Newcastle and Eddie Howe. If they don't win anything, it's not the end of the world. Like Eddie Howe hasn't promised a trophy in the second season. Ange Postecoglou needs it because he's always done this.
Question to the patrons as well. I'd like to get a quick straw poll on it. If you want to become patrons, links in the description, guys. Join us all. We do a second podcast each week. Let me know what you think. So, right, you're taking Eddie Howe. You don't think the pressure's on Eddie Howe?
What do you think he loses? No.
Do you know what he said recently, which I thought was very clever? Maybe he said it loads of times. It's just the first time I heard it. Was that he said we need to understand that with the constraints that are in place, this success is a long-term aim instead of a short-term one.
I am sick to death of hearing Newcastle fans complain that they can't spend all of their oil money. I have zero sympathy for you. I couldn't care less, and actually, I'm glad you can't. It isn't a positive thing. The league won't be fairer if you're allowed to do this. The reason why these rules now exist is to prevent you and another team from doing what Manchester City and Chelsea did, because everyone understands universally that wasn't a positive thing for the league. Now, just because you've got money, and you agreed, you signed up to these rules before the oil money came in. Now you got the oil money, we want to go back on what we said about the rules because we've got all the money. And if you're not, you're a Premier League cuck. This is what Palace fans get called because they think the their chairman said the PSR rules are important. And they say, well, Palace are Premier League cucks, aren't you? No, you lot are fucking idiots. You're weapons, a lot of you, if you want that. Like, you've never seen a better Premier League. There's never been a more competitive, more balanced, more interesting Premier League than the one this season. And that's because there is a balance in how much... there is more of a balance in the financial abilities and strengths of the respective football clubs. That everyone gets £105 million or whatever it is however often from the Premier League.
Say it the way you say Super Six. 105.
£105 million every single 3 years or 4 years, right? Yeah. That's positive. Like, if you're going to throw money at this competition, and if there is going to be an abundance of wealth, then make sure that the competition is as good as possible. We've already said, James, in this conversation, that only 5 teams have won domestic cups in the last 15, 16 years. 5, that's it. And Manchester City have won 6 league titles in 8 or 7 years or whatever it is. That's not competition. That's not healthy. That's not what you want to aspire to. They've done it because they've had a world-class manager and spent really well and spent a lot. But you don't want that to be the barometer of success or the blueprint of how you're successful. You want a team a league where anyone can beat anybody. No one. You want a league where Nottingham Forest have a +2 goal difference and they're 4th, and Spurs have a +17 and they're 10th. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, agreed.
So no, we don't want Newcastle to be able to use all their oil money and so they become great again. You should be restricted.
Easier for you as a London team, though, isn't it? Just build a big stadium and get some. Was there a Squid Game kicking off at the stadium?
What?
Is that what's happening at your... I thought I saw something about this. Is Ben Bowman knocking about in the chat?
I thought there's a new series of Squid Game.
Oh, right. I thought there was like a new thing that was going to happen at the Tottenham's ground, because they obviously they have like the go-karting and they have the concerts and stuff. It might be a Squid Game thing. Okay, so Eddie Howe is not the answer. Some people are saying... Thomas Sutel says relentless backing of himself with the promise of a trophy for Ange means it's him.
It is him. But Ange doesn't lose his job if we don't win a trophy. Arteta, if he doesn't win anything this season, there'll be a groundswell of opinion about a groundswell of conversation about whether or not he should be the manager. I think Ange Postecoglou floats underneath that. And maybe rightly or wrongly, maybe it should be questioned. But
it's interesting, isn't it? Zach says, Arteta, if it's not Continental or the league, the board will get impatient. Will they?
They love him, though, don't they? They feel like they're all in the same boat, don't they? They're not...
The thing is, and Flav, you'll know this, only one team can win each competition. Yeah. And thus, there's the rest of us that are all not winning the competition. So, it's
Let
not
me
as
ask
easy
you
as you
a
think.
question, James. If it is about a league title for Arsenal and Arteta, who's more likely to stop them in Liverpool and Chelsea?
Is it, though? I don't think it is.
Well, if he wins the Champions League, he's fine, obviously.
I think it's about consistently... It's about consistently...
Improving.
Yeah, improving, being up there, wait, and the trophies they'll drop for you. It's it's got to be more than that, mate. I think if as long as you're consistently get, the aim for Arsenal should be to consistently get 90 points, and sooner or later, you'll win anything you want to. Because if you're getting 90 points, that means you've got a really good squad. That means you've probably got a great chance in the Champions League. And you'll have a year where Man City aren't doing what they're doing, or Liverpool fall off.
That's exactly what's happening this year. If they don't win it this year, when are they going to win it?
Well,
you can't back the manager in that way and not see a return at some stage. I mean, maybe they're all right with just being in the top four like they did under Wenger, playing dog shit football. Maybe that's fine. They're fine with that.
The floor, the worst Arsenal can play is pretty good in the sense of picking up points. Like, is that last season, isn't it? That's the thing that is good is that as not clunky, but as maybe like predictable or low on creative fumes Arsenal are at the moment. They still haven't lost in the last 5 of which I can see right here. They've just drawn the last 2, which is obviously a bit disappointing for them. They are incredibly effective. They've conceded less goals than anyone in the league. Is that true? Hang on.
Yeah,
that's not true at all.
Is it
second lowest? Liverpool.
Who? Yes.
So yeah, like Arsenal are like, could they be winning more games? Could they be winning more games comfortably? Could they be scoring more goals? Absolutely, and that's it. The goals for like we look at stats all. I look at stats all the time, right? But the most obvious one, the best one, is the goals for, the goals against, and the goal difference. And it often will tell you the problems. And for Arsenal, it's, if you want to find a problem, and they're not a million miles off, like even Liverpool got 31 goals. 29 goals, you'd want another 6 goals. And I think if you'd had another 6 goals in these 16 games, you probably would have won a couple of more games more comfortably. They've had a load of anomalies in there as well. I think the thing is that it's like, coming back to me getting rattled about the trophy things, there's this sort of status, ego entitlement thing where like, we're Arsenal, we should be battering everyone. And then also actually you have to deal with that yourself if anyone has a go at you about the set piece thing, which is we've spoken about on here as well. But like, you then on the other side of it, you got every other fan will go after you going, oh, you're playing like Stoke. So this is the swirling bullshit that we have to live through, and you're getting sucked into.
James, what you mean we shouldn't attack Arsenal for playing dog meat football, no?
Dog meat football. I'm saying this is competitive sport, and it's not always that easy.
Yeah, but when you're playing against them, James, when you're up against them, when you're arch rivals, and even when you're not, everybody hates them now, right? Palace, and Dan went to watch them. Palace, he said, I didn't have any feeling about Arsenal, but now I hate their guts.
It's funny that, isn't it? If you think of how fun those Sweet Sweet Gunners were just 2 years ago, and with the bulk of the same team, bulk of the team's exactly the same, and now they're very savoury. They're an oatcake.
It's just probably there's nothing wrong with an oatcake.
No.
It's probably, James, this is probably why they should keep Arteta, right? If we sort of be sensible for a second, or I'll be sensible for a second, that if he keeps changing and tweaking and adapting to what's around him, and eventually anything he does is more or less going to work, but you'll find that one thing that really works. He did it 2 years, like you said, really adventurous, expansive football, and then he tried it twice and lost twice narrowly to Manchester City, and he just thought, I can't win like this, I need to do this. And so he's doing this, and it's not quite the same, but next year it'll be a refined version of that. And all Arsenal fans got to do, like you say, James, is wait, and eventually it'll drop for them. But will the appetite be there if they don't do it when Manchester City have fallen off for a season? They should, but I don't necessarily think the fans will. The
weight thing's the interesting thing. It's like with the variabilities of life and a squad and the Premier League as a whole, and trends within football and all those different, and like, I guess the mental fatigue of some of these players when they've got to play so many games, or just the ups and downs of your career. Like Rashford's, and we get onto Rashford in a sec, but Rashford's an interesting point there in terms of like how your psychology as a sports person, how that can change over time. That's the thing that like it's not about waiting. You got to keep pushing. But I think as long as you are getting close to that 90-point mark, if you do it for 5 seasons and you don't win one trophy, you've been incredibly unlucky for your Arsenal. Let's talk about Rashford. I've done a video on my new channel, More James Allcott, running through the runners and riders. Flav, could get your take on that. How do you feel about the whole circus of it? He's not even a person anymore, is he? It's just a word. Rashford.
Got some front, isn't he?
Marcus.
Yeah.
He's got some front. He's
He's got 3.5 years left on his fucking contract.
Yeah, they won it. They obviously. I was listening to Henry Winter, who's saying that from the interview that he got, which he should have got that in. How lucky is he? He should have got that interview a week before, but the event had to be put back, so it wasn't choreographed. He was going to get the interview, but he was going to get the interview a week ago. But then everything happens, and so he gets an interview on a better day for him to ask him those kind of questions. He says that he feels that this is being driven by Man United more than Rashford himself. So here's the thing I don't think anyone's spoken about. I said this at the start of that video, and I go through different teams I think he'd be good for. One of which is Tottenham. We could talk about that. But the one thing I don't think anyone's spoken about is if I know I'm talking to Henry Winter, right? One of the most. So if anyone doesn't know, one of the most like respected, well-known. He's had an outrageous longevity.
Traditional journalist.
Top
of the pole
in British football. Yeah. Right. You're talking to him. And he was talking about how, you build relationships and then that's how you get interviews and that's how you get all these things, right? If you're doing that and you're supposed to be like PR Rashford or whatever that is, whatever that even means, you do not say, I think it's maybe time for the next challenge if you've not got that next challenge set up. You just don't do it. Why would you do it?
Yeah, I mean, because you're engineering the move. It's the most interesting thing is that. It's where is this coming from? Who is engineering what? Right? Is Rashford and United, have they kind of agreed amicably that it's time for us to separate paths, to go walk down separate paths, or is it the club going, we're going to sell you, and that's where this kind of disgruntled, sort of petulant performances that you've seen from Rashford, coming off the bench and he just seems completely disinterested. It feels to me, and I couldn't get my finger on it when I was talking about it earlier, what the problem is, why Rashford his demeanour has changed and it looks like he's not enjoying playing football anymore. And it has to. The only place it could have come from is somewhere inside the football club. And I think it probably happened way before Amorim even joined. Because Amorim came out and said, you should speak to the manager in this instance. You should be speaking to the manager, which means that someone okayed that. There's no chance that Rashford does that interview with Henry Winter unless Manchester City said that it's okay for you to do that. You're under contract. You won't be able to do those things without explicit permission. Because you can bring the club into disrepute. You could even have your contract terminated if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, someone like him.
That's a good point. That Henry Winter said that the day before, he says if you look at the sources when you're hearing about this £40 million number, if you look at the sources, they're reputable sources, and Man United have previously shut down things like that by saying it's speculation or shut it down in some way. I don't totally know what it means.
What is the figure? What does the figure mean, James?
Apparently, they're ready to listen to £40 million offers basically for it.
Yeah, it feels about right for a player who hasn't played well for 2 years.
But if they wanted to keep him, if they didn't want that conversation happening, if they didn't want that sort of circling out there in the media, they would have. Henry Winter was kind of saying those people wouldn't have had that information, and therefore that's why he feels it's being driven by Man United. But I just don't think you would say maybe I'm ready for the next challenge. You just don't say that unless you got something set, and so I think he's got something set.
Right, I get what you're saying. So he's comfortable knowing that something is almost signed or has been signed behind him. Yeah, no, and that's fine. And you look at. I'll be interested to see where you think that might be, but just you look at how Manchester United, Ineos specifically, have operated in the last, well, since they come in, pretty cutthroat, especially when it comes to money and money saving and finding a way to make it as the company, the PLC, as efficient as possible, and the footballing entity as efficient as possible. So much so that they, cut in M&S vouchers for Christmas that from £100 to £40 to stop for staff members. That's how ruthless they are. They're also going to be looking at this squad going, where's the value? A lot of money's been spent on it. Where does the value exist? We've got PSR problems. We've got a player who's been out of form, who's under contract. That's crucial. 3.5 years contract left. He's completely protected. He still has some value. If he continues down this path, it's only going to decrease by a few £1 million every transfer window. What can we do with him? And he's on 350 odd grand a week. Why wouldn't they sell Rashford?
Yeah, I think that it can be as simple as that. I think that's the thing I said when this sort of broke, was that you have to. They're ruthless, this lot. I think that and it's about, one word's ruthless, one's like fail fast. If you're gonna if you fail but you fail fast, then you get to sort of the answers that you need to more quickly. And I think that's the strategy that they're going to go with here. And like you say, everything you've just listed there, contract till 2028, which gives you that power in terms of selling him. The problem is, when you drop him the way that you did, you put forward this idea that he's trouble in some way, and that's going to take 15 million off his signing off his transfer.
Why they've arrived at 40 million, right? That's a fair price.
Yeah. His current market value is 55 million euros according to Transfer Market, and that Transfer Market always quite sensible. So it's 15 million under that, with 2, 3 years, 4 years left on a contract. No. But June 2028.
Where's Man United's leverage? They don't have any. They know the player wants out. They're happy to sell him. He's doing these interviews.
The wants out
James,
bit. Go on.
Well, you're right. I think the reason why they're not interested in leverage is because they've probably made a deal already before all this has happened. Because it doesn't matter if you don't have leverage if the deal's in place. If they're now trying to find a buyer for Rashford rather, and they've done all this, that's not good, in my opinion, not good business for what it's worth. Because you're, like you say, you're no leverage. People know you want to sell. That they're selling him under the value for £40 million. £40 million, though, is fair for him, I think. Where do you think he's gone, Jim, then? If he has, if in this world that we've created that he's signed for someone, who do you think it might be?
I don't want to give that away because that's in the video. Who do I think, then? I think he's definitely got one sorted. Well, I will say, Thomas Martins just said this. I think this is interesting. And I didn't talk about these guys in the video. New takeover at Everton. Do the new owners go for him? I probably wouldn't want him, but the new owners might need a big signing to begin with. So the Friedkin Group have taken over Everton. They are now in the building. We'll be intrigued. Let us know in the comments how you feel about it. Thomas, let us know how you feel about it from an Everton point of view. Because there is a bit of bad press around them. Obviously, they own Roma. And that's been very up and down. Is that right? They do own Roma, don't they?
Yeah, they own Roma. They've had 4 managers in 3 seasons. They've fired. They brought in Mourinho, which was a bit of a kind of marquee. Obviously, it was a marquee signing for them because it managed a huge profile. That didn't work out, although he did win the Europa Conference League. Then they brought in De Rossi, who's obviously like a hero for Roma. He lasted about 70 games, and they let him go, much to the sort of furore of the anger, rather, of the Roma fans. And then they brought in, I think it's Jovic, I can't remember if it's Jovic or something like that. He's a Serbian manager. Yeah. And he lasted 12 games. They got rid of him, something like that. And then they wanted De Rossi back. He refused to come, and then they ended up going back to Ranieri, and they're just doing average at the moment. Yeah,
they're struggling. They lost to Como at the weekend, actually. Who one of the teams I put forward for Rashford. So Everton, look, they might want to go down that route. That stinks of the stupid mistakes that you'd made that got you into this mess in the first place. So I would be wary of doing that personally.
If you're an Everton fan, you're not assured by this. You're nervous, I think.
I think Tottenham is certainly one of the runners and riders here. What do you think about him going to Tottenham? That as a deal.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Friedkins.
I was talking about Rashford. Going to Everton.
Tom just who is it? Tom Locke just said Rashford at Spurs to the end of the season, 50% of wages paid. Would you take him? Yeah, you take him because for that there's no. Well, how do we lose in any way if we just play 6 months? Do we sign him on a 3-year deal? If his performances and his mannerisms and perceived attitude, for what that's worth, is anything to go by, then I don't think that would impress Postecoglou. Do I buy? Yes, he's better than Timo Werner, and it'd be good. It'd be good competition for Son. So yeah, you probably would if you're Spurs.
I think that's the thing. The nuance of the deal will be important here because if it's a sort of, is it a loan for him? Is it a loan to get your stock up, or do you want to just get out? And if you want to just get out, can you find someone to actually spend that money? Can you actually find someone to spend that money? I don't know.
Yeah. A loan doesn't. A loan's a kind of gamble because if he has a bad loan spell and just goes back there in that same position, United need the cash. Well, they don't need cash per se. They need revenue. I don't think. I think I hadn't thought about this, but as soon as you said that there's probably a deal in place, that makes complete sense now. But yeah, Spurs. I mean, he's the kind of player that Arsenal would have bought back in the day. I think they would have gone for him.
You said that before. What do you mean back in the day? What?
Just because they had a track record of like buying players from Man United and other top 6 football clubs and feeling quite comfortable in that space.
Right.
It's just evident to me because that's something that Spurs would have never done. Have never done. We're never able to buy first team players from other big 6 clubs.
Right. I mean, yeah, because they've done it. If you think about Arsenal, they've done it a lot.
Sanchez.
Sanchez
went the other way, didn't he?
Yeah.
Welbeck.
But recently, Havertz, Jorginho, Sterling.
Yeah.
Zinchenko, Jesus.
Yes. Exactly. So Rashford to Arsenal kind of makes sense as well. I think it could be Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think it could be Arsenal. I don't think Ineos would have any issues with selling to another big 6 club.
I've seen you yawn once. I'm nervous. So let's get to buffet chat, okay?
Did I yawn?
You did a quick cheeky yawn. To be fair, I have yawned in this pod as well before everyone gets at me, okay? It's been a long week. I've been ill.
What day? It's not even Friday yet, is it?
That's Thursday. Nearly there. So the subplot, we've gone through the main plots really of this week. The subplot is will James and Flav kiss? Studge Pigeon said, I found it intriguing to hear Flav implore James to believe that QPR could get promoted. Felt like a subconscious yet desperate attempt for Flav to spark another man's hope and dreams. Perhaps he's just waiting for that spark to be inevitably extinguished, so he has somebody to turn to in May when both parties are left bitterly disappointed. And then he's in quotes, this is you speaking, at least we have each other, Jim, he'll say. And then the replies for this I thought were interesting. Luke Emo said, how many years into the pod are we? And they still haven't kissed as a momentary reprieve from the toil of their football teams. I don't know why I'm still watching, to be honest. And then Ella got involved. She said, Luke, be patient. All in due time. James and Flav for now is an expansive, slow burn story being told through podcasts, obviously leading us towards the climactic kiss. James and Flav for now? ? No. James and Flav forever. Heart thing.
Oh.
And Luke came back with one word, dynamite. So yeah, enjoyed that. Let's keep an eye on that. Don't know how we're going to kiss from. You'll know we're going to kiss when we're in the same room again. But for now, it's a slow burn. Neve's buffet chat last week. We were discussing what you're taking away with you. Ellis Carr said, always take a couple of pastries wrapped in a napkin for later. The buffet doesn't stop when you leave the hotel, lads. Come on now, let's take these things seriously, shall we? Very true. Brett Pearce, the only team on the planet I honestly... Hang on. I that's the first time I've ever done that. I screenshotted the wrong comment. What a shame.
Read it out anyway.
Nah, I've deleted it now. And X Tribe Y, something like that. When I go to a hotel for work, I would take an assortment of tea bags from the buffet table for later use in the office. Good.
Also, theft.
Yeah.
Like taking things away from the buffet. What point is it theft? Is it when you leave the buffet area?
That's a good point.
Because eat all you can. No, eat all you want, not eat all you can.
Yeah, you were right. You're right first time.
Yeah, I was like, eat all you can.
Well, I mean, what's the
But-
difference? Is that
It's not,
is that
it's
a
not
more
take all you
provocative
can.
sentence? Is that more provocative sentence than all you can eat? Eat all you
Yeah,
eat.
'cause it's a challenge, isn't it? And I'm
Yeah.
sure it's a conscious
I
thing
love
that they say, eat all you can.
That's a
But
good
it's
point.
not take all you can, is it? It's not like if you took a couple of plates up to the room and filled it up, maybe that'd be all right. Could you take your breakfast to the room? And if so, how much breakfast are you allowed to take to your room? And what if you had a family up there that weren't supposed to be up there and you're just feeding them breakfast in the buffet?
Yeah, good point. I always, from a hotel, I'll always take the biscuits if there's, you can't leave the biscuits. It just almost feels rude to me if I do that.
Yeah.
Eat all you can. Here's a bit for you. Best funeral songs to have. Bryn United said, ask my wife to use Lifted by Lighthouse Family as the song for my funeral as they bury my coffin 6 feet under. Is this the perfect funeral song? Lifted. Lifted. It's the wrong way round, isn't it? We could be lifted. Do you know what? Fam's still on this joke where and it's sort of like, it's a joke, but she won't go, I'm kidding, which is a bit of a power move. She said, and she won't let it go, is that her request, if she passes away first, is for me to sing Hotline Bling at her funeral. And I'm like, stop it now. I'm not stopping now because I don't want her. Because she was like, Hotline Bling. It doesn't make any sense. It would be funny, wouldn't it?
No, it's a celebration, isn't it? So you should do it.
Sorry, we've got to finish on this. So last bit of the pod, and it feels fitting. If this is the last podcast of the year, Flav, is there anything you'd like to say to the beloveds?
Well, just that thank you for listening, and just be with us next year because we need your support more than ever.
That's wonderful. I agree. I think we've had a good year. Stuck together through thick and thin, or thin and thick, depending on your preference. And hang
on. I've got this. I've got something else. Sorry to cut you here, but it's important. I'm just browsing the comments as you were speaking there. There's special mention to this. This is good. This is real good. I got like a little semi-lob on when I read this. Paul Casey, 4282.
He's an OG.
Can't be asked. Huh?
He's an OG, is Paul.
Is he? Yeah. Can't be asked to listen to jealous set piece chat. If I wanted to listen to a podcast on set pieces, not only would that make me a loser, but I would choose an actual analysis instead of an insanely jealous and rattled Spurs fan talking about it.
Yeah. And that's, and so, really loved your support this year, guys.
I win.
And I win.
Feels good.
Speaking of wins, I've never been sent something more in my life than this. This week I was sent it not only by all of you lot, but Flav himself. So this.
What did I say?
So can you see it? I'm sharing the stream with you.
Of course, I can see it. Yeah,
of course you can see it.
I mean, I have it etched into my memory. I will never forget it.
Well, you said there's layers to this, so I thought I might finish off the year's Jaffin with a cheeky breakdown of this. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is what happens when one son decides he wants to rebel against supporting the family team.
Yeah. Play it through.
Okay. Is this abuse?
Really enjoy it.
Okay. Let's find it.
Yeah. You okay? Yeah.
Right. What do you want to discuss first?
So, what's the most important thing? What's the most important thing to as a young lad? Right. What you don't know anything, do you, as a kid?
No.
So things need to happen in your life. So you know stuff. You need to be taught lessons. In order to learn, you need to feel pain.
Sure.
The reason why we have pain receptors in our body is for the precise reason that we learn from things that cause pain.
So to safeguard you in the future.
If there's a fire, you put your hand in the fire.
Yep.
If your hand hurts, Never do that again.
Yeah, makes sense.
What's happening here is this kid is learning a massive life lesson before he's ready, and that's why he's destroyed.
Yeah. So it may look overwhelming, but you feel like there's a lot of good happening here.
Really important stuff. Really important stuff. Yeah. Look, good is not the right word. It's important. It's important. What this kid has decided to do, unbeknown to him, is take the easy route. He's looked at 2 lanes. He's been approached at a path that separates. And one of it is full of sunshine, lollipops, of which one he's eating. And
I think incredibly, maybe he's a Jaffin fan because that's a spoon. Just he wanted to, maybe the dad's a Jaffin fan. He's giving him a spoon, just to kind of go. You better remember. Yeah, I want people to know this is real. Hold the spoon.
Yeah. Hold the spoon. Yeah. And on the other path is dark, right? And you can't see the end, and you don't know what's lurking in that darkness. The easiest thing to do, let's go to where the pussycats are. That's fine. That's nice. But the lessons are learnt down the dark path, and this is an example of it. Eventually, the pain comes, regardless. So this little twit has been allowed to choose Manchester City at what? How old? We guessing here? What, 4?
Yeah, maybe 5.
5, right?
Yeah.
And his dad, he's trying to mend the work that he hasn't done, isn't he? Below this,
great celeb there.
Right, and he's looking his kid in the eyes. That's the thing. He's looking at his kid in the eyes. He's like, mate, have that.
It is like he's celebrating, but he's really saying, you've got to learn.
Have that. This is what you've signed up for. Yeah. This is what you've signed up for. This is football. We could be all in this together. We could be doing this together. We could all be celebrating. But what have you done, you little mug? Honestly, it should never be. I don't understand. And there'll be people who listen to this and go, well, no, I don't agree with Flav. I think you're being out of order. How you let your son choose a club, support a club that isn't your own? It's not a choice. You don't let your kids choose who they want to support. They support who you support. In the same way that they eat the food you give them on the table.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they don't like it. That's your dinner. Doesn't matter if Spurs are shit. That's who you support. I had to do it. My dad made me. Now you got to do it as well. That's the rule.
Yeah. If a young Man City fan like that, he's been living off sweets. He's not having the broccoli, the kale.
Finally, this man decided to be a father, by the way. Finally.
Do you know what I do like, just to be clear, he does say, when he gets down, he goes, you okay? Say, you okay? I don't think he means like it. Do you know what's interesting? Oh, wow, I never saw that. Look, check this out. Look at the bloke, Dad's bum. There's another kid hiding behind him. There. See? I didn't know that. There's a kid.
So he knows he doesn't care about his kids. That's why he puts his hand up. Don't squash me.
No, because he's worried you're going to get squashed. And he's not bothered.
That's so funny, James, when you went, there you go, there's the kid.
There. Poor kid. I wonder what that kid... See, that kid doesn't want to be in shot. He knows, because he's United. Isn't that funny? There you go, there.
Someone who said that... Tom said, is that Garnacho on the side?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, look, it's fine. But yeah, I don't understand. Like, if you've got a kid, if you've got a newborn, or your kid's young and he hasn't got into football yet, or she hasn't got into football, and moreover, don't let them choose. Their team is who you say their team is. That's the way it is. There's too many people have been allowed to follow the big six just because they want an easy route out. That ain't the way it goes. And there was a question in the last episode, and it's a slight detraction from the point here, Jim, but this is it true that the average height of QPR fans is 5'6"?
It's not true. No. The lad in front of me and the lad to the right of me are both easily 6 foot plus. I would go as far as saying 6'3".
Could you imagine if just like QPR for some reason?
Tiny. Everyone, yeah. You think we're all far away, but the ground's right there, but it seems like they're really far away. No, we're all fine. We're all normal height. Probably a tubbier bunch in general, I would say. But that's because we're real people. Yeah. And back to your point, you're right. I really struggle with other sports because I don't know how. I'm not 5'4", by the way, which there's nothing wrong with being 5'4", but I'm not. Just to be clear.
How tall are you then?
I'm 5'7" 3/4.
Whoa.
If you're asking. With other sports, I really struggle to support a team because I don't know how you do that, because I didn't have a choice. You just sort of had what you had. It's in your blood.
Yeah.
And
what amazing thing that you get to share with your father, right?
Yeah. I guess so. But yeah, I mean, even if we won a trophy, it'd have to be in the right circumstances. So.
Don't. Sorry, James. I'm so sorry. Look. Let me backtrack it. If you won it like that, it'd be fine.
Why is that? What? Because it's this. Oh my god! Right. Let's get out of here. Right. Have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. We appreciate you all. This continues to be a very, very special part of our careers, actually. But
yeah, massively. Look, we on a certain level, on a very real level, the opportunities that James and I have got from this podcast have been significant and really important for our careers, and that would only be the case if people listen to it, and you guys do consistently, especially our slugs and our patrons who've consistently supported us for 6 years. You're all legends. We love you, and we hope deeply that you have an incredible Christmas and a happy New Year.
Wonderful. Right. Speak soon. Get involved in Super 6 if you want to try and win £1 million and support the pod. And yeah, have a wonderful Christmas. We love you all to bits. And here's to 2025. Come on. Let's have it. See you soon.